What's up, everybody? Welcome to the NBA SA show. If you are a basketball fan and you watch the NBA and you're tired of hearing what Americans have to say about their own sport and you want to hear what South Africans think, then you're at the right show. Welcome to the NBA SA show. It's episode 2, season 4, and I've brought along two friends. You know Kirk and Tim. This is Jason and Talbot. Together we probably have a combined maybe 100 years of basketball in here. What do you think?
80.
But a lot of basketball knowledge, and we're very excited to chat about it. Jason, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Talbot, how are you? How's telling everybody?
Solid, thanks. Happy to be here.
Lovely. Timmy, Mr. Dallas.
I'm glad Jason's happy to be here in his own house.
Because we're not here.
Yeah. Kirk, you good?
I'm always good.
Lovely.
Always good.
All right, listen, fellas. We're going to be talking about the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. We're just going to go through a whole lot of different teams and your immediate thoughts on why you think they're doing well, what you think they should be doing, and whatever areas within their game or within their teams they can improve on. Yeah?
Cool.
It's time to shoot some hoops. Get ready for the thrill. NBA SA is on. Let's see who got the skill. From dunks to 3-pointers, we got it all for you. Tune in and join the action. There's nothing else to do. NBA SA, NBA SA, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
We go live in 3, 2. Timmy, I'm going to start with you as the Dallas fan. Dallas Mavericks is doing fantastically well at the moment. Let everybody know what has Dallas been doing. What are your thoughts? Shoot.
Dallas are going to lose a few games coming up. Just letting everybody know. They have lost Luka. He's out for a month.
Yeah.
They will continually rest Kyrie. Right? Clay's finding himself. He didn't play last night. Lively's injured. There's 4 starters that are out. And they're going to let Grimes play. They're going to let Dinwiddie play. They're going to let their role players have some fun. They're going to lose a couple of games. They'll probably still finish 4th or 3rd. By the time playoffs come, this will be better for them. If you're a Mavs supporter, you know this. If you're not a Mavs supporter and are jumping on the bandwagon, still jump on. Don't panic. Everything is okay.
Jay, I'm going to jump to you, bruh. Quickly, which team do you follow? Do you have a team that you follow? Do you have players that you follow? What's your NBA vibe?
Sure. So I've got this thing where I've got a penchant for guys that are
You got a
overpaid.
pension for them?
For like guys that are
So
overpaid.
that's if they retire, you come to Jason.
It's like a pendant.
I like guys that are like overrated, overpaid, like comeback stories, you know. So like Zion Williams. So I love the Pelicans. Obviously, there's stories there. The Warriors, obviously, they're not really doing as great as I think they could be. And I think like Philadelphia 76ers also, obviously Joel Embiid is back, and I think they could be a bit of a dark horse.
Put it on.
Especially for you.
Put it on.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it over my top, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
So if you
Nobody wants to see.
So if you like guys who are overhyped and overpaid, you must love Harden and the LA Clippers.
No.
And the Lakers.
It's a strong no.
Jason, is there a specific team you follow?
I mean, so the Pelicans and the Warriors are the two that are quite
Follow
like.
the most?
And I think Philadelphia. I mean, I watched the game against Celtics where you know the guys came out quite strong, and you know I think they could be obviously depending on Joel Embiid if he's healthy or not.
Yeah.
They're also like quite old. I just realized that
They feel old, yeah.
Paul George is going to be 35 next year. I didn't realize that.
Kirk, that's old now.
What 35?
So I like the underage. So I'm like backing the guys that are like in the play-in area. Like those are the guys that I'm watching.
Yes. Talbot, who you following? Player, team?
Can we stop and just pause for a moment?
Yes.
Very seldom do you ask somebody, who do you follow? And they tell you, the team that is lost on the lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very seldom.
He did say underdog.
This happens all the time.
Yeah.
People fucking shame you for your choices. That you make.
For your thoughts, yeah.
They're like, the Mavs aren't that great.
Talbot, over to you, bro. First thing, do you follow teams? Do you follow players? What's your NBA vibe?
Okay, well, listen, I'm going to take this from a completely different level. So the biggest disappointments are obviously the New Orleans Pelicans and Sacramento Kings. These two are highly touted. New Orleans Pelicans obviously have those massive injury issues, which is completely derailed this season. Big shame. Sacramento Kings should have been much better with DeMar DeRozan in there, but they're obviously still trying to find their chemistry.
Also fired the coach.
Because of the lack of chemistry.
Yeah.
They fired Brown.
Yeah, bro. A
When?
few days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Now you see, I shouldn't be on the show.
Can we just backdate it to
Today. They just fired him this morning.
To be honest, as I'm looking at this list, I think Suns are where they're supposed to be because you can't buy a team. You can't buy
But Book's
chemistry.
been injured.
Sun should
Even
be
even if Book's injured, like you basically have an injury-ridden Beal that you've signed. You've got an aging Kevin Durant, and you've let go of literally your whole team for these two guys. So there's no ways that these guys have the depth to be able to literally compete in this league.
So I guess ball karma.
Is
There's that karma, ball karma. You can't buy a team.
that you can't buy a team.
Not
a chance.
anymore, not anymore.
Not a chance. Well, listen.
Unless you Pat Riley.
The Miami Heat tried to do that, and it took them 2 seasons to get there. But it was a completely different NBA. The depth just wasn't the same as it
That's
is
what I'm saying.
now.
You can't buy a team.
The talent level is completely off the chain now. I'm still on the West here.
You haven't even picked your team yet.
This is why you should be on, yeah? Right? It's classic. Where's asked you a question and you go,
And you
that's a
don't
great
answer,
question,
yeah.
but I'm gonna answer this one. Let me talk about this.
So listen.
Change the question.
San Antonio Spurs are doing really well considering.
Yeah.
Minnesota are a real they're completely let down. Lakers are doing well. Nuggets are terrible. Grizzlies really good considering how poor their year was last year. And Oklahoma City Thunder, have you guys seen them play defense?
Yeah.
Good.
They pride themselves on their D.
If they're not ferocious, then they're fucking tenacious. And if they're not tenacious, then they are as motherfucking hard as nails. These guys will not let you breathe. They are one of the better teams to play.
And that's without Chet Holmgren.
And
Yeah.
this is without Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
And this guy, once he slots in, is going to be an absolute beast. Just in terms of the East, no surprises, including Philadelphia 76ers, because they are a broken organization. I really like what Chicago Bulls are doing. They've lost their closer, but they are playing an incredible brand of basketball. I think they're playing a 5-out, which really works for them.
You must be surprised with Cavs though.
Well, listen.
I don't think anyone thought Cavs would be at the top.
They are top of the lot.
So funny thing about Chicago was Chicago were flying really high. Then they brought DeRozan in, and then they circled. Then they let him go, and they're flying really high again.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
but they weren't terrible last year. They made the play-in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they lost.
They
in the
made,
first round.
they made the play-in. And like this, he's a legit closer. And you expected him to like really slot into the Kings. But
I thought he was going to be really good there.
But it's just a chemistry issue.
Yeah.
It really is a chemistry issue. But Bucks are finally doing something. Heat are cuck. Atlanta Hawks are really good considering, hey? And yeah, like I think the biggest surprise in the East is Cleveland Cavaliers, and they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
These guys are shooting the highest clip of threes, I think, in the league at the moment.
I think Boston is.
You think Boston is?
They shoot the most threes.
Yeah. Boston shoot like 60 or something a game.
Yeah, they shoot a lot, but I think the percentage for Cleveland is higher, and I think it's telling because these guys are literally on top of the league at the moment.
Could you, Jay? What are your thoughts on Cleveland and why they're at the top?
I don't know. I think obviously Mitchell's an all-star, so I think he's having a good season.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of these guys that they fly under the radar. They're consistent, good coach, and they've got. I think consistency is probably why they're on the top.
I think you could also argue that they've got the most balance in the league. Their centers are excellent. Their centers, in fact, the two centers that they have at the moment are Mobley and who's the Afro Samurai? Allen, thank you, Jared Allen. They must be two of the top 10 centers in the league.
Just
I think he picked Cleveland as his team.
But I want to ask you about Cleveland.
Yes.
Because you've been very vocal about you think Cleveland are going to do well, you don't see them go all the way. Now, they've also got a coach who's there for the first year. He was assistant coach for Golden State for 3 years. It's now his first year in Cleveland. He's already, within 30 games, he's only lost 4 games. How do you see them following through? Does this buckle at the end? Do they continue with this?
It's again the thing of expectation. Expectation is the leveler of all fucking teams. So at the moment, nobody expected them to do well. Them doing well is a nice story, but will it result in success? If they fall short this year and they come back next year they will have the expectation, because now we've seen they can play a regular season. How are they going to perform in the playoffs? How deep do they go? If they make second round and they don't make it to the conference finals, is that a success? Would you expect them to make the conference finals? Because they're definitely not coming out of the East, because Boston's coming out of the East, like for sure. So making conference finals, is that a success? And once they achieve that success, then the expectation is for them to do it again. Will they be able to run it back once the expectation is there? That is the kicker.
I really like that comparison, because they're pretty much the Boston Celtics of 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Tell me, over to
The
you.
Atlanta Hawks.
Your Atlanta.
When Atlanta finished first.
Over
That's
to
who
you.
they are.
But you know who's going beyond expectation is New York. Because New York had this season last year where they did well, they went deep, and that was, can they run it back? Now that the expectation is there, can they do it again? And they've made some really nice moves. Cat is, I was saying the other day, Cat was so underrated in money. With the amount of pressure he took off Edwards, and him in New York, he just started in there seamlessly. And the thing about New York is it's a big franchise, and you can't take nights off in New York. Everybody sees it and everybody nails you for it. And he's been performing so well throughout this. It's quite.
Yeah, but just side note on that, there was talk of that the Randall Cat Williams. Cat Williams.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of questions about how that would affect the chemistry, but like when you looked at the numbers, Cat was always the most efficient player of the two.
And he's just stuck in the fourth though.
Yes.
Yeah. Any playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Actually, so New York haven't made the playoffs with me yet, so.
But that's because of his foul trouble.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And he's still foul prone at the moment.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Moving on, tell me, the exact same thing that Cleveland are going through, I feel like OKC are similar. Expectation versus what you actually wanted to achieve. Do you think OKC entered the season wanting to be top of the West and believing that they can win the West and winning the NBA?
Yes.
Why?
And I think the bookies saw it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they've been built to be a great regular season team.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure that everybody, pundits, or even themselves or the rest of the league, really believes in them as much in the playoffs. Because
Still prove yourself, man.
Well, I mean, look, they went the second round. They went deep, right? The Mavs were a couple of bounces away from losing that. Right? That was close. They could very easily have been in the finals.
Pity.
Yeah.
Look ahead to learn.
I'd argue actually, so a lot of the same things that the Mavs had to solve for this year, they still have to solve for.
Yeah.
So if Shea gets slowed down, they are in real trouble.
Yeah.
They're in proper trouble. They are an isolation offense,
Yes.
right? And they feed off him sucking in the defense and then having shooters around that will make their shots. And their role players don't make the same amount of shots when they play away. That's why they have to get that first seed. And in big pressure moments, they haven't proven themselves. So they'll win a lot of regular season games. Cavs will win a lot of regular season games. But the two of those teams have serious flaws that really good teams are going to ask them in the playoffs. And that's why it's hard to, if they play against Boston, hard to bet against Boston. Or sorry, hard to bet against Boston in those moments. If Boston plays the Thunder, I think you need to be a gambling person, right? Who have really good odds to go Thunder. Yeah, and actually, even if you go down the West, right? I I don't think it's a. You could just say easily the Thunder will beat the Grizz, or the Mavs, or the Nuggets, or even the Timberwolves.
So
Unless
I think
yeah.
the only team out of the West that has a chance in the finals against the Celtics is a team that's won it before. If you're coming into a finals for the first time up against the Celtics, you're gonna get Luka.
Yeah, because you need that experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is what the Cavs are gonna lack when they go down the stretch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Talbot and Jason.
Yeah, sorry, go.
No, sorry. Were you still on your?
Yes,
Thunder?
sorry. Yeah, he was finishing. I cut his back.
No, I was gonna talk about that Cavs piece. The floor thing in the Cavs. The Cavs are big and really small,
Yes.
and they've got this real missing middle,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And for example, the Celtics are all about that middle,
Yeah.
right? And they can clog up both sides. So they got bigs who guard your bigs, and the Cavs bigs aren't gonna light up your offense, right? Mobley's not gonna do that.
They're not big
and,
bigs, yeah.
And Brown and Tatum, they can absolutely go and give Garland and Mitchell a hard time and slow them down. And so the things that the Celtics are good at, right? Cavs are bad at.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with the Mavs against the Celtics. The things the Celtics are really good at,
Yeah.
Mavs are bad at,
Yeah.
and that got exploited.
Yeah.
And to that point, I think that's the Thunder's biggest knock, right? Is that they're big in the middle, but they don't have the front court depth to literally
They're
pull
small.
down those rebounds when the rest of those guys, those Williams kids, are missing shots when it's not Shea shooting the ball, right?
Exactly that.
If they had a Steven Adams in there, they could probably win.
Don't you think that OKC are performing well and they don't have? So Chet is not a bona fide big, but he can change shots, he can grab rebounds,
Yes.
so he can defend big. And they're missing the other J Will, the J Will that plays big just came back now. So like when Tim says they get bullied by bigger players, that's because their two biggest players aren't playing at the moment. And I'd like to see with those two back in if it changes things. I don't know if it does, but will it?
But those two bigger players that you're talking about are still small.
They play big.
So
Yeah.
Chet is
They-
small,
they
Chet
slight.
is small and
They
slight,
slight,
right?
yeah.
And the other J will is actually just short.
But when the Celtics
and he's
gonna
not
bully them
big.
around.
Yeah, well, look, they still got to get out the West,
Yeah.
right? You got to get out the West, and you go the Grizz. Well, you got JJJ.
Oh my God.
But I mean,
Right? and you got the Rockets, and you got Alvin and Shengun.
But I mean, they
right?
were-
You got the Mavs, and you got the twin headers.
But to your point, they were
But
a bounce
Anthony
away
Davis for the
from
Lakers.
making the finals last year.
They were, but all these other teams got bigger and better.
Yeah.
All of these other teams have got better. So my point is, my point is, it's not a. There are flaws there that teams will exploit, right? And unlike in the East, where Boston's gone through all different things, right? They haven't proven that they've gotten through it. And Cleveland doesn't. That we're saying, why do we not believe that, or why do I believe that Cleveland isn't going to win Raw? Why do you not believe it? Well, they haven't done it, and there are flaws, right? And the same thing for the Thunder. They haven't done it, and there are flaws.
They flew his eye.
Jason, as a follower of the underdog, do you think
They weren't too
Houston,
bad.
that's now third in the West, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies is second in the West, do you see that as the underdog rising? Do you think they could follow through with this? Do you watch any of their games?
No.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously Timberwolves was lying quite low, and Nuggets was also lying low.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they've got high expectations, but I think the two of them, given their experience in playoffs, I think those are the two that are probably going to come out in the finals.
I agree. I agree.
And you know, they just haven't found their rhythm, and you know, so Wolves are dealing with Randall and DiVincenzo. I mean, they were good the other night with
I love DiVincenzo.
yeah.
Such a baller.
Yeah, he's like
Not the most consistent guy, but you know, I think
Yeah.
they'll find a space for them. So I think those are the two teams in the West for me that is probably below where they should be.
But you foresee them.
But come playoff time, I think those guys are going to show up. So those are the two that I'm probably thinking from an underdog perspective.
Yeah.
They're gonna do well versus the Rockets and whatever other team you talk about. I
Correct.
can't
Yeah,
remember which one it was.
Do you agree? Do you see those two teams doing well? Do you see the Rockets and the Grizzlies staying there?
Yeah, I really want Denver to do well because that was such a quiet story when they won their first chip, and the Joker is he just doesn't give a fuck about basketball, and that's such a refreshing take on like an NBA player. I like that franchise. I think like we were speaking earlier on, their problem is that they didn't want to pay their role players. If they had, and that's the only way to succeed. That's the only way to run it back is to pay your role players the big money, take the knocking taxes and get a chip. But they haven't done that. They're trying different pieces. The same with Golden State. They've lost a bunch of pieces trying to fit square pegs into round holes, and they just haven't found that balance yet. And they relying on a Jamal Murray to be fantastic in the playoffs and carry them through. Last year we saw how that fell flat. Many on the other hand, many are still trying to fit their pieces together and get their chemistry. I don't think they're going to come out. I do think it's going to be OKC. Memphis, everybody's surprised by Memphis, but I mean they didn't have Ja for basically a whole season, and before that,
paying for most of it as well.
Exactly, and before that they were knocking on the door. They were like the team of the future. They were this up and coming, grimy.
They were the Thunder.
Gritty, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Who's the pogo stick? The number 4 that plays for them. Ja always hits him with the lobs. He was also injured for the whole year.
Oh, is it Brandon, the guy with the dread?
Yes.
What's his name? Brandon something?
Oh, that is.
No, but they were injured, and they basically the Pelicans of last year.
Yes, and I think they will do well. Sorry Denver. I mean sorry Dallas. Yes, actually, if they come good, Dallas is going to be stacked. Sure. I couldn't call it conference finals in the West.
None of you have given any light of day to the Lakers.
Lakers?
No. No.
Only
Only people ever don't understand that. It's fine.
Where do the Lakers end? When LeBron is 40, I still give them a chance. Where do you give them?
First round.
Out.
Let's
Where do you give them?
Let's have this conversation.
Wait. Look, so hypothetically speaking, they're 7th, right?
Yeah.
So
I think they'll end in the top 6.
So that's playing, right?
Yeah, but I
top
think they'll end in
6.
the top 6. Yeah.
So they're gonna knock out the
They
Nuggets.
were in the top 6 2 nights ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the highest you think that? Do you think they'll finish 5th?
6th. I
Okay,
think
hold
So
on.
so.
the highest
wait.
they'll finish
I
is
think
6th.
that's-
So whether they finish 5, 6,
Mhm.
or 7,
Yeah.
which team, right, are you gonna say that they're going to beat?
Out of the first 4.
Grizz,
Yes.
Yes.
Rockets,
Yes.
Mavs,
Yes.
and let's assume Nuggets get better or the Timberwolves get better. Any one of them. You are saying that the Lakers will beat the Grizzlies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies or the Rockets
Take
maybe. I
them
think.
for a
Or the
half whole
Rockets.
year.
Yeah.
Thank you. Or
The,
the Rockets.
the Rockets.
Yeah.
They could potentially knock the Rockets.
The Rockets are still a very young side,
Yeah.
as well as the Grizzlies. The
Yeah.
Grizzlies have been around a long time, but there's still a lot of youth there.
The
Don't-
level of disrespect on this podcast. You know, we've been serving drinks here before we done it. I
Basically,
apologize to
the
everybody.
Lakers are going far in the playoffs.
The Lakers are not going
Second
far.
round is, I think, is their cap.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Second
You're right, they will
round.
play a lot because they'll have to play the first playing game and then the second playing game.
Then the
And
first
then-
round is going to go to 7.
and
The
then-
second round is going to go
Yeah.
to 7.
Yeah. Okay.
You say they're gonna get through the first round. They're not.
They were saying best case.
Lies, I'm glad this is recorded.
case.
None of these guys are treating the Lakers come playoff time.
Listen, guys, Bronny James is going to take them to the.
That is how we wrap up the show. All
Oh,
right.
no.
It's all.
What?
Hey, you sell jerseys?
Are you guys believing in the Lakers because they got rid of Russell?
No. Just because
Because they
just
got
because
LeBron
experience.
James. They got LeBron
Yeah, for
James.
experience.
You know you can't.
So you're saying the
count
league is
LeBron
gonna
James.
snorkel?
No.
They've
I
had
think
Le-
LeBron is
they've
that
had-
good.
They have had LeBron James since when?
2019.
2019.
Long time, man.
How many
5
chips have they won? in
One?
Well,
That's
I don't
enough.
think that counts because that was
That's
COVID.
You mean it was the toughest one? It was the toughest season.
Everybody played in the same conditions.
100%. 100%.
So they won one state and she's
Yeah.
title
Yeah.
since 2019.
Yeah.
So LeBron James can't.
No, they
be
won
a
it in
reason.
2020.
But James
In the
can't.
COVID year.
I'm saying since 2019 they've won one title.
Yeah.
And you're saying that
But he's been
because
there all
he's
along.
there, it's a sure thing that they're going to win the title.
The other teams are all
I
good.
mean,
So why haven't
I
they-
can't-
why
I can't
haven't
say
they
it's a
won-
sure thing.
why haven't
I
they
can
won-
tell you that there's a chance.
Why haven't they won any more than one in the
Because the
last-
Joker had to have his time.
Yeah.
The Celtics had to have their time. I'm not gonna cards. I'm not gonna cards.
They won that
Speaking of-
NBA Cup thing.
Oh yeah,
They won the
yeah,
NBA. That's all they're gonna win.
yeah,
That's all they're gonna win.
Fellas, I want you to make a. We are halfway through the season. I want you to predict your top 4. There's no top 4. Give me your top 2 who you think are going to make the East, and your top 2 who you think are going to make the West. This is your prediction.
Finals.
So
Conference
Eastern Conference
finals.
Finals and Western Conference Finals, you can only pick 2 teams.
Okay.
Halfway through the season, obviously you can choose any team. You don't have to go on ranking.
Right.
Who you believe
Yeah.
will be your finals picks. I'm gonna go first while you guys think.
Clearly, you was talking about this before.
yeah. So it would be silly for me not to pick Boston because I think Boston will absolutely be there. And then I actually think that Cleveland are going to go to the finals. I think that they are mentally ready. I think that they look like a type of team that could go far. And that's my Eastern Conference Finals. In the West, I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers.
And the San Antonio Spurs.
No.
Because I mean, we're pulling tuck at them.
The Los Angeles
You
Lakers
joke, they're like a game away from
And-
each other now.
and OKC. That's what I have. Los Angeles Lakers and OKC. Don't worry about how it's gonna get there.
No.
I just
That's
think
that's fine.
I-
We
yeah,
assume
yeah,
this will all change.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
Beat it.
Then I'll go.
Beat it.
Tell me you can go next.
Cool. East or West, which one you want first?
Give me East.
Go Dallas.
Boston, New York.
Boston, New
I
York.
think Boston and New York are
Okay.
going to get the finals.
In the West,
New York are tough.
Why did they give first?
Yeah.
he asked
Hot
nicely.
takes.
Really
The
positive.
West,
for him.
the West Finals.
Mavs
The
and
West. Mavs. And doesn't
Versus-
really matter. Mavs and
Mavs.
Grizz. I think Mavs and Grizz.
Grizz?
I think they're the 2 toughest teams out
Wow.
there. They will fight their way. They will fight their way there.
Okay, Jason, I'm gonna hand it over to you.
So East, again, a little bit of a controversial pick, but I think 76ers will come out there.
That is controversial.
Sure.
And I'm torn between Celtics and New York, but I'm gonna go with New York.
My man.
Just to stay with
Okay.
convention.
Okay.
Okay, then I think
West.
the West.
Listen, you can't pick the Pelicans, because regardless of how much this changes.
I don't think
Even if
they've won 5 games. Even if Zion comes back like 25 and averages 35 a game, I think there's a chance. But I'm thinking Warriors and
Wow.
and
Well, you may as well pick the Spurs.
Picking with the
There you've got the
Yeah.
yeah,
with
yeah.
all.
No,
Warriors?
there's no date to be on that.
Yeah.
We can see.
It's why I picked the Lakers. I picked the Lakers.
And Wolves. And Wolves.
Wolves.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's going with Anthony Edwards and Steph Curry. Who you got, sir?
So listen, just on the Pelicans, that team is no more. Hey, they're gonna blow that motherfucker up. On the West,
Yeah.
just in terms of consistency, it has
Finals
to be
picks?
Mavericks and Thunder.
Okay. Mavericks and Thunder.
Provided they don't see each other along the way, and this
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
this whole table.
No, but that
shift.
doesn't matter for this conversation.
Yeah.
You,
Amen.
you believe
Amen.
they'll get there. Yeah?
Um,
In the East.
In the East, it would have to be Celtics and Knicks.
Okay, so you agree with Timmy.
So Knicks and Celtics play championship defense, and this is my pick with the Thunder. Thunder play championship defense.
You don't have to give reasons.
Mavericks not so much, but they've
Yeah.
got the
Kenny,
firepower.
we in with you, bro. Give me the East first.
Yo, this is gonna be cut boring. So I'm gonna go with what Tommy said with
Okay.
Boston and New York.
Okay.
Because he actually heard that from me. We were speaking this morning.
I think you heard that from everybody.
Okay.
It's not a hot take. It's not a hot take.
Your West picks?
But because he went New York, I'm gonna go Milwaukee.
Okay.
I'll go
We haven't even talked about it.
Yeah.
I'll go Boston, Milwaukee.
Boston, Milwaukee. Okay.
And then in the West, I'm going OKC and Memphis.
Wow.
Okay, so you agree with him?
Yeah.
No, I said Mavericks.
Sorry. Okay, see
Shut
Memphis.
up, nigga.
Yeah.
I said Mavericks. Mavericks have the same team. They almost went all the way last year. They are a legitimate squad.
Yeah.
They could do it.
Guys, in case you don't know, if any of us get it right,
Peter.
if Tim's prediction is correct, the 4 of us must buy him a 6-pack of beer.
Lovely.
That's how it works, yeah. And the same for you. If your predictions come right, I think I stand
Change- you wanna change your
the
predictions?
Lakers.
Sorry, are we buying him individually or collectively?
Individually, so 1 6-pack, 1 6-pack, 1 6-pack, 1 speaker need to be
It's a lot of
for
heartburn.
me.
It's a lot of heartburn
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
age.
And then finally, one player, MVP of the season. We are halfway through. The MVP conversation is strong at the moment. Pick one player, please, gentlemen. While you think, I'll go first. Oh, you want to go first? Go for it. MVP.
Alexander.
Alexander.
Bell.
Shea Gilchrist.
Okay. I thought you were going Celtics.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so SGA.
Yes.
SGA.
SGA. Steph Curry.
I'd say Brunson.
Brunson.
It's a good pick.
Okay, Timmy.
Can't be Luka.
It won't be Luka.
It won't be Kyrie either.
I feel.
Can't be Kyrie. Jokic will probably win another one now.
Depends on where they finish.
Yeah, because now we're trying to see, well, who can finish far enough up
Yeah,
exactly.
with a good enough squad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Unless they do.
So unless
You know what?
if Denver finishes top 4, then he'll get it. But if they don't, that will be.
They just need to go on a run and he'll get it.
Yeah.
Because the rest of his team has been so bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zag. I'm gonna go.
Take
Luka.
Take them.
And I'm gonna Kyrie. You really want to say Kyrie. You really want to say Kyrie.
You know what? I'm gonna go Giannis.
Giannis.
I'm gonna go Giannis. I think that their second half of the season is gonna be better. I think that they're starting to get the things together. And so long as they do, and let's say the Bucks get themselves up to
They're pretty high in
fourth place, right? Around about there, it'll be all off the back of him. He's having an historic season.
He's going ballistic, eh?
He really
Fucking
is.
bad.
Right? And off the basis of that, I'm gonna go.
Cool.
I'm gonna go.
My last pick, I'm going Donovan Mitchell. I think the Cavs go far as I predicted, and I think Donovan Mitchell wins his first MVP. Thank you very much, fellas. Owens, Jason, thank you.
Yay!
Let's go.
Thank you, Talbot. Thank you, Owens.
Can I just say something?
It's our
about that?
first guests on the show.
Can I just say something
Yes.
about that Mitchell one?
Yeah.
Right. You know why I didn't say Mitchell?
Why?
Because the bookies are very seldom that wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
But they are wrong.
They are wrong.
Sometimes.
Right? Do you know in the betting odds, right, where Mitchell fits in the MVP race right now?
Tell
Just
me.
Go 1 to 10. Where do you think he is? We know he's not number
9,
1.
5
Yeah.
to 10.
9.
Yeah, 5.
Five to 10.
I think 6,
5
5.
to 10. I'm talking about quarter past 3.
Where is he, Timmy? Where is he?
Yeah, it's an unfair question because actually he's number 11.
Yeah.
He's out of the bookies top 10, and I don't think he gets to win.
No, but listen, you say the bookies are always right with their
No,
predicted
it's-
where the Cavs are currently sitting at this point in the
But
season.
my point is I'm not talking about if you had to make a bet today.
Yes,
not
today,
not
for sure.
historically. They're going today.
Based on the
Yeah.
data today.
He is the 11th most likely person
Wow.
to be voted MVP.
And he's the most important player.
How do you know that? How do
100%.
you know that?
Because listen, I do research for this. I research
We need to see
for
control. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.